There are no strobe lights or anything like that, but there is some simulated violence. And after the show, I will briefly call down after they do some little bows, 8 of our seniors who are in the cast or crew, and talk about them for a minute if you want to stay for that. Celebrate them since this will be their last production for Step Theater, last activity here on this stage. Thank you all for coming.
We're all out of leaks. And since we have an early day tomorrow, we best have our Ovaltine go to bed. Oh dear, Elsa forgot the sugar.
Not on my account.
You don't take sugar.
I don't take Ovaltine.
If it's good enough for Orphan Annie, Sergeant. Here is the list of people you'll be picking up in the morning. At 9:30 a.m. in front of the Brill Building, a Mr. McKeon. Mr. McKeon is a struggling young comedian, and the Brill Building...
I know where it is.
Oh, of course you do. And then a Mrs. Boverstock at 230 East 50th Street. Oh dear. Mr. McKeon is, I'm given to believe, an incredibly struggling young comedian. Perhaps to spare Mrs. Boverstock, he best ride up front with you.
Oh, swell.
And then at a house on East 92nd Street, a Mr. O'Reilly. Mr. O'Reilly's an Irish tenor.
And you told this Mrs. Boverstock you had a new chauffeur?
I made up some story, yes. The others will arrive by car or train, although I do hope they make their connections.
Snow's supposed to stop by midnight.
Oh, I do wish they would stop whatever it is they're striking about. I'm sick of Stephen Foster tunes.
Snow is still falling all along the eastern seaboard. What had been originally estimated as 2 inches has already doubled.
What?
Inside.
I said, I hope this doesn't scare off our people.
Oh, my dear. These are actors, director, composer, producer, and lyricist, all coming to get my money for their Broadway show. Nothing short of the end of the world will stop them.
If this is gonna work, you've got to say the speech exactly like we rehearsed it. You're gonna be able to pull off your end of this, okay?
Espionage is in my blood, Sergeant. I won't fail you. Oh, poor dead BB Stecco makeup kit. Being fresh was so important to her, and now she's anything but.
Here.
That which may reveal a murderer. This is going to be a grand adventure, Sergeant, isn't it? and I've got the perfect menu all planned out. To begin, a tureen of December fruit, followed by lots of...
Yeah. Well, since my first adventure will be driving through a snowstorm in the morning, I better get some sleep.
Oh, well, I'll show you to your room. I must admit, you're something of a surprise to me, Sergeant. I thought all New York policemen were Irish.
We are.
Nor the FBI would confirm these rumors. The Nazi submarine is believed to have landed these men on Long Island earlier this month. With the discovery of the body of Franz Becker, knifed to death in the back of a restaurant in the Yorkville section of Manhattan, it is now believed that only one saboteur is still at large. In other news, the British 8th Army announced success today in North Africa near Sidi Barrani.
Elsa, there appears to be a taxi stuck in the drive. I'm going down with the shovel to get it. Oh, and the bar needs condiments. Will you see to it?
Ja, gnädige Frau.
Gnädige Frau. A bit formal this morning, aren't we, Elsa? Oh, I know. Little Elsa's curious about my overnight guest.
Nein!
Not even about which bedroom she slept in? Don't worry, you're still princess here. Now to the day. There will be 4 for lunch and 7 for dinner. I need you at your most efficient today, Elsa. I'm not at liberty to tell you why, but the day's events will add a bone-chilling chapter to the von Grossen-Newton annals. Oh, play that also, will you?
Thank you. Sure, we're after being stuck down on the road at the bottom of your driveway, wouldn't you know?
Ja, I heard the auto.
No, that's another car. We can't even get up the hill. I'm Patrick O'Reilly. I'm one of the actors. I thought I'd be after coming up to see if I could borrow a shovel.
A shovel? Oh, a shovel. Fräulein von Grossen-Newton is using it right now. May I take your coat?
I may as well go back down then and see what I can do.
You are Irish, Mr. O'Reilly?
As Paddy's cow. And you are Scandinavian?
I am German.
Are you now?
A refugee. Fräulein von Grossen-Newton gave me refuge here 4 years ago.
Did she now?
From the Nazis.
The Nazis, was it?
Schweinsatze!
I see. Well, it's been most interesting meeting you, miss.
Wenzel. Elsa Wenzel.
Wenzel, yes. Faith and Begorra, but isn't there a very famous German cabaret entertainer in Wenzel? At the Tivoli, I believe?
Oh, you are familiar with the German cabaret entertainers.
Well, it's after being my business now, isn't it? Dieter? Huh? Wenzel? Huh? Wasn't that his name?
I never paid much attention to the cabarets.
Here's the library. We'll hold the audition here, Ken. You can move it any way you like.
It's perfect.
von Grossenüte.
I'm Patrick O'Reilly. Our group is stuck down below. I came up for a shivel.
A shivel?
A shovel!
Oh, of course. Well, it's right around the corner. And this is Miss Nikki
Crandall.
And this is Ken De La Maze, your director.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. And now I'll be after getting that shivel.
I'll go with you.
No, lassie. It's after being down to the bottom of the hill. And the snow is as steep as the cliffs of Killarney.
I am of solid Bavarian stock, Mr. O'Reilly. Snow is in my blood.
But not in your heart, dear Elsa. This lady is the most generous patron of our art alive today.
Am I, Ken?
Elsa, without you, there wouldn't be more than 30 or 40 shows on Broadway. She backed 12 last season.
Well, I do like to dabble. Now, Ken, suppose you mix you and Miss Crandall a drink. Elsa will bring your luggage up. Northwest guest room, Elsa. Ginger and Bernice will be up shortly as soon as they finish thawing out, and Marjorie's still trudging up the hill. But soon we'll all be together again, won't we, Ken?
Yes, it'll be nice to see Ginger and Bernice again.
And when I come back, I want to hear all about Hollywood, what it's like.
Just dump the garment district in the middle of an orange grove. That's Hollywood.
How picturesque! Hollywood.
Of course, there is an ocean somewhere.
You never saw the ocean?
Certainly I saw the ocean. I was at a party in Santa Monica one night and somebody pulled open the drapes. Drink?
No, thank you.
You were about to tell me in the cab what show you were with in Washington.
Dewberry.
So you know Bob then? Bob Alton, the choreographer?
This was the road company. Jimmy Arterman staged it.
So you closed in Washington.
No, I left the show in Washington.
Not to come up here for a backers audition, I'd hope.
Oh, no, I've got other things on the fire.
So you're a singer-dancer?
Dancer mostly.
Yes, I kind of thought that when I watched you get off the train.
I walk like a duck, you mean?
No, you tripped over your suitcase.
Sure, sign.
And with whom did you study dance?
Well, see, I'm from Chicago.
I know Chicago quite well.
Actually, south of there. You know Kankakee?
I'm afraid not.
I studied there with Natasha Dubrovitska.
I see.
Jeepers! This is a swell house, isn't it?
Yes.
I'll bet they have some swell houses in Hollywood.
Ostentatious, but swell, yes.
You live out there?
I'm hoping this enterprise will bring me back to New York.
You're not working on any movies right now?
I've just finished a picture. Moonlight in Rio.
Moonlight in Rio. You shot a movie in Brazil?
No, I shot it in a studio in Culver City.
Oh, well, who's in it?
Alice Faye, Dick Powell, Phil Silvers, Ann Miller, Patsy Kelly, George Brent, Rex Melchior, Kreska Heinfetz, and Bora Minevek.
Oh, sure. I saw that.
Hasn't been released yet.
Oh.
It's good. Good to be back.
New York?
The theater. The event as ancient as man and as mysterious as the nature man once sought to appease in his earliest rituals. Rituals we now call the theater. Not moving pictures, but life. Life distilled into a pure, clear ring of truth. Never forget that. It is your heritage.
Well, I guess, but I've only done musical comedy.
Yes. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go get rid of some of this Union Pacific Railroad I've brought.
Sure. Go ahead. I want to look over the lead sheets anyway.
Hi, I'm Admiral Byrd. Am I lost? This is the North Pole. Boy, what a blizzard. I passed 4 penguins on the way up here. One of them was wearing a polar bear. Only kidding. I'm Eddie McKeon. This your place?
No, I'm Nikki Crandall. Miss von Newton just went down the hill to help some people who are stuck.
That's us. And the taxi in front of us and the car behind us. They'll never make it up the hill. I decided to hoof it.
Your shoes are wet. The Oriental rug.
Oh yeah, sorry. You here for the audition?
Yes,
You write it or?
I'm an actress.
Great, guess we'll be working together.
You're an actor?
Well, I'm a comedian actually. You see Hell's a Poppin'?
Yeah, are you in it?
I had a couple of bits, yeah. Just left it a month ago. Doing some radio. This the closet?
No, the closet's outside in the hall.
Out here?
Yes.
Pardon me, is that my heart on my sleeve while we're apart?
Oh, you've got music.
Yeah, didn't they send you some?
I only got the gig yesterday. Some other guy got sick. My agent asked me, can I sing? Sure, I say. Always say yes. One of my rules. No matter what they ask, yes. This morning, a limo picks me up and parks me out front with the chauffeur. Then we pick up a dame and a mug in Yorkville. Boy, what a trip. Driving in a snowstorm. I can't see a thing, so I don't know how the driver can. On top of that, she's deaf.
Deaf?
I had to be. I did 40 minutes of my best stuff, and she didn't crack a smile. White House Merry-Go-Round
Nice tune.
by Ginger Hopewell and Bernice Roth. Hopewell and Roth. Hey, is this gonna be one of their shows?
I guess so.
Hot dog.
You don't get any better than that.
What a break. I mean, they've had a string of hits. I think except for Manhattan Holiday, they've never had a flop. What's the other music? Is there a number for a comic?
I don't know, but I'm sure Mr. De La Maze will sign parts.
Ken De La Maze? He's here too? He's the director? Hot dog.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't know anything, except I'm getting $25 to do a backers audition for some dame named Van Grossen something.
Newton.
No thanks, I just had a Danish.
That's her name, Von Grossen Newton.
Hey, that was a joke. I'm a comic, remember?
I'll try.
Boy, this could be the opportunity of a lifetime. To be in at the start of a hit show? I guess they're looking for a producer?
As I understand it, they've got a producer. They want a backer.
Who's the producer?
Marjorie Boverstock.
Hot dog. Marjorie Boverstock. Oh my gosh.
She was probably the woman in your car. Was she wearing mink? You're going back out?
I'm going back, period, to New York City.
What?
It's the same people. Manhattan Holiday, the same creative team.
So they had a dud that scares you back to New York?
No, the stage door slasher scares me back to New York.
The who?
Where you been? The stage door slasher? Two years ago, 3 women murdered, all chorus girls, all in Manhattan Holiday.
Oh yeah. Now I remember reading something. See, I was on the
They
road.
had to close the show. The chorus wouldn't come back to work until they caught the slasher. And lady, they never caught him. So let's hit the breeze.
If he only killed women, then what are you so worried about?
How do I know he hasn't changed his preferences? Come on!
What makes you think the killer would be here? There are no chorus girls here. Oh, wait a minute. I'll get my coat. Oh, this is silly. That was 2 years ago. And the only similarity is the creative team. Anyway, you'll never get back to New York in this weather. Look how thick the snow is falling. It's a dark, sunless day, and for all you know, the killer could be stranded out there, hidden by snow, waiting. And it's just going to get darker and darker and...
You can stop before you get to Dracula's entrance. Come on, get your stuff. I'll leave her a note. Why, there must be 25 rooms in this joint, and the slasher could be hiding in any one of them. And that don't count the closets.
My gosh!
What?
A secret passage!
Holy mackerel, let's get out of here!
Let's take a look!
My gosh, they do exist.
Who do?
Well, I thought it only in movies, where whenever there's a lunatic killer out on the loose, killing everybody and his brother, Somebody, usually a dame, hears a noise in the henhouse and goes out in the pitch black night to investigate.
And did you ever notice in those same movies, there's usually a big, strong hero who's not afraid of the dark?
I'm a comic, remember? The dark definitely scares us. It's part of our training.
Ah, you must be Mr. McKeon, since you're the only one unaccounted for. I'm Elsa von Grossenuten, your hostess. And of course you know Miss Barverstock and Mr. O'Reilly, since you rode up with them.
Hardly know, Elsa. As Mr. McKeon was up front with the driver, I didn't get an opportunity to tell you, Mr. McKeon, that I think it's simply divoon of you to fill in at the last second like this.
Well, thanks,
And
but...
this is Miss Crandall. Nikki, darling, I don't believe you've met Miss Barverstock. Do you have a cold, Mr. McKeon?
Oh, no, see, there's been a hitch. I got my dates mixed up, and I'm actually due back in New York.
Oh dear, when?
Well, right now.
Really? I simply don't know how you'll get there. It might have escaped your mind, but we're in the middle of a blizzard.
Well, I know, but...
Well, I, for one, would be quite sorry to see you go. I've just heard such good things about your work, and Ken De La Mays, the director of this audition, knows every agent in Hollywood. Do you know an agent in Hollywood, Eddie?
Come on, Nikki, let's get back to work.
But what about the slasher?
He can get his own agent.
Elsa, I can't wait for you to hear the show. It's divoon, simply divoon. And I've got the budget all worked out, even down to the opening night party. We'll host it at Sardi's, naturally. And if we charge the actors just a teensy cover charge, we'll break even. Elsa, are you redecorating?
Oh my! Did someone move the pen holder?
Oh, I guess I did that.
A secret passage? Where does it lead?
To other passages, the house is laced with them.
You never told me this, Elsa, never.
Oh, well, it's nothing. Just your average, ordinary, everyday secret passageways.
Was this a stop on the Underground Railway or something?
No.
Then why?
My father who built this house was Baron Wilhelm von Grossenuten.
Ah, yes.
You've heard of him?
Well, wasn't there a motion picture about him with Eric von Stroheim? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Someone else. Though he was a legend, there have been no motion pictures on him.
Obviously, I have it mixed up.
He built this house when he left Germany at the end of the war.
He was a general.
He was the Kaiser's chief of espionage and the most brilliant intelligence mind in European history.
He was a spy?
Perhaps you've heard of the Dreyfus Papers.
Oh, yes.
The von Moltke note? The Hotzendorf memo?
Ah, Hotzendorf.
I don't read much.
The Kruger telegram?
Yeah.
Maybe. The Colonel Redder letter? The von Emmick shopping list?
Okay, I think she's better than so.
All events which changed the course of history, with my father at their center, working a clandestine covert alliance, clothed in an atmosphere of secrecy, stealth, and subterfuge.
But why the secret passages?
It was the only way he could leave a room.
Is all our company met?
Ken, darling, how do
Marjorie.
Kids, this is Ken De La Mays, the director of this audition. Haven't you met Ken?
Hi, I'm Eddie McKeon. I just did Hell's a Poppin'. We'll get to her shortly.
Excuse me, gnädige Frau, but I cannot find the meat cleaver.
You need a meat cleaver.
For the hors d'oeuvres, yeah.
Well, if you need it, my home is yours, everyone. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll be back shortly. You're sure you need a meat cleaver, Elsa?
See, Ken. And darling, look! A secret passage!
So it is. Very like the one I recently used in the circular staircase. Paula Girard, Leon Craig, Judith Anderson, Lionel Ackland, George Sanders, Peter Lorraine, and John Carradine.
I saw it, Ken, and it was some of your best work.
Hasn't been released yet. Now, cast, as I was saying, we will get to work shortly. However, let me remind all of you that although this is only a backer's audition for an audience of 1, it is still theater. So any questions of character or interpretation you may have, bring them out. Theater is nothing more or less than life distilled into a pure, clear ring of truth. A ritual as old as time
Quick,
itself.
someone a martini. I am in danger of frostbite.
Ginger, darling! How to boom! Simply Daboon.
Marjorie, sweetheart, love your new word.
Let me introduce actors. This is Ginger Hopewell. They are to do your music, Ginger. And this is Miss Crandall, Mr. McKeon, and Mr. O'Reilly.
Your eyes are very blue.
Perhaps I will have a drink now. It makes it so much easier to excuse this licentious behavior.
I am not being licentious, Marjorie. A trifle libidinous, perhaps a bit lascivious, but not licentious.
What's the difference?
Placement of the tongue, I'd imagine.
Ken, I didn't see you there! How lovely to be working with you again. I was saying to Bernice on the way here, now our script will have distilled truth and clean rings and new spark plugs and all of the wonderful things that Ken does. And you are the comic.
Ah, you've seen my work.
No, I merely assume that's why you are tripping over the piano. I must have another martini.
How about our performers? Dare to have a drink before attempting to entice Elsa out of her money?
No, thank you.
Thanks. I wouldn't mind a shot of bourbon if you've got it.
Hi, gang! Bernice, darling!
Bernice, you're looking wonderful.
Missed you, kid?
I see you've added yet another bracelet.
Have a drink with us, Bernice. I'm having a teeny martini. Well, in that case, I'll have a huge manhootin with a cherry. Oh, be realistic, Ginger. This cast is Bernice Ross, the librettist. Your cast.
Martini time.
Hi, gang. Sorry I'm late getting downstairs, but the storm froze the lock on my overnight case, so I've been upstairs, heating it with a candle. Heating the lock, except the candle kept dripping wax all over the rug, so I had to move it into the closet, but set something on fire. Set what on fire? Well, see, I don't know, because whatever it was burnt up, but then the maid walks in as I'm kneeling in the closet underneath this raging fire, and she wants to know if I'm Haitian.
Oh, Alexia.
His eyes are very blue.
Ain't it something to be with all these famous people?
I guess so.
Ken, love your tan.
Only cost me 1 soul.
May cost us ours.
Really?
Bernice and I have been asked to do a motion picture later this year.
Really?
Do you know who Abbott and Costello are?
Those 2 guys in the Bobby Clark thing?
Streets of Paris.
Streets of Paris. Universal assigned them and we've been approached about some songs.
That reminds me, the lead dancer from that show, the boy, Grover Champion.
Go, champion.
We should think about him. I mean, I know you're only on the first draft, Bernice, but think about taking that long section where the sailor is telling the girl how beautiful she is and turning it into a ballet. I didn't think that section was all that long.
Ever notice when Bernice is writing, anytime anyone is telling a woman how beautiful she is, the scene goes on forever.
That comes from understanding romance, Ginger, a subject you are somewhat hazy on.
That comes from right in front of that smoked mirror you've got over your desk is where that comes from.
Okay, kids, let's get to work, shall we?
Oh, we're all together extra bowl.
We're fine, Elsa.
We're just about to start rehearsal, Elsa.
Anyone need a refill?
Sure.
Oh heavens, how dark it's getting. It's just past 1. Wonderful. What are you having, Bernice?
What's closest? Excuse me. Gnädige Frau. But your cook called and you snowed in. Trapped!
Well, there's nothing for it, but I shall go and whip up a quick lunch. We don't want you hungry for the big show, now do we? Come, Elsa, let's see if we remember how to do sauerbraten.
Sauerbraten? How inspired. She's chosen a dish that even if she ruined, no one could tell the difference.
All right, let's get started with rehearsal, since that's why we're here.
Is it? What? Hasn't anyone wondered why this particular creative group is gathered in this particular house?
A backers audition.
Featuring the very team whose last effort was Manhattan Holiday, the show during which Phoebe McAllister, Elsa's friend, was murdered.
Oh, Phoebe.
Another drink, Ken? You look as though you may need one.
Just the memory of that horrible time. I had hoped it was forgotten.
Obviously, it isn't. Though Elsa is eccentric, though she slithers through life as if she were Gail Sondergaard, her behavior today strikes me as more batty than usual.
If that's possible.
I believe we've been gathered here for a dual purpose.
Which is...
To observe us. Together.
To what end?
Excuse me, but who was murdered?
Were you in New York 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I was off visiting me old mither in County Cork.
You were visiting a mither?
Someone killed 3 members of our dancing chorus.
You suspect the killer was a member of the show?
We don't know.
Of course we know. We play in New Haven, a murder. Boston, a murder. Philadelphia! Terrible reviews!
I know.
Then murder closes us in New York. Someone with the show, Ken. Someone with the show.
And you suspect the killer is in this house?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but you're not after knowing much about murderers. They may occasionally be drawn back to the scene of the crime, but they never, once they are fleeing away, never would intentionally associate themselves with anyone who could possibly have a reason to suspect them.
Hey, how do you know so much about murders?
Me old fither, and me fither's fither, God rest their souls, were police officers.
And you're a singer? I still think that's why we've been gathered here.
Sounds like a parlor game, Miss Hopewell. Oh my gosh! So interesting. In real life, it is sudden and filled with rage. It is quite emotional, quite messy. No secret passages, just blood-soaked carpets.
What blood-soaked carpets? Oh, excuse me. I thought I heard something about blood-soaked carpets. We were talking about real life, Elsa. Though God knows why, since we're here to do a musical comedy. Fraulein von Grossnewton has asked me to tell you. Lunch will be served in about 30 minutes. In the meantime, there are hors d'oeuvres. Well, if you really believe there to be a murderer, best not stand by the bookcase. It's a secret passage.
Oh, good heavens.
All right, shall we get started with rehearsal, or shall we continue to tell ghost stories? Ginger and Bernice over there, actors over there.
I'm sorry, there is no breakfast, Mr. O'Reilly. Since you are so interested in all things German.
Bernice, have you decided how much of the book we are going to do?
Bernice.
The
book.
Right! Has the silliness of Ginger frightened you? Oh, no, of course not. I was just thinking. We're perfectly safe here. Why, we're warm and cozy in this lovely old, kind of weird house with secret passages and blood-soaked carpets and sort of isolated by a snowstorm.
I'm afraid I have a rather troubling announcement. I hope none of you have to reach New York this afternoon because the line seems to have been cut.
And the line seems to have been cut. Bernice, let's calm down. Please.
I can still hear go out.
Barney has lost his cloud.
You have got to know the way. You have to
Bed.
It is a corner home.
Won't even take your calls.
Bless your entire
Taking a ride on the White House merry-go-round.
I love it! And so Elsa, the tune, the lyrics, Devon! Simply Devon.
I suggest we move on to the second act. It's already 4, and Elsa wants to see this before dinner.
I have to see a man about a dog.
Me too.
And maybe some coffee.
Oh, God, yes.
Coffee's a good idea.
All right. 10 minutes. How was that, Mr. De La Maze?
It was some. Would anyone be after wanting anything? I'm going to the kitchen for a spot of hot chocolate.
I'd love some.
See if she has some tea. Wait, no, I'll go myself. Mr. De La Maze.
I noticed you skipped over the part where a taxi driver does an impression of the Japanese ambassador. Well, you don't have to skip it if you don't want to.
Eddie, I think Ginger and Bernice have Bert Lair in mind for the role of the cab driver.
No, see, I do a Japanese accent.
He's a big name in there, you understand?
I was just thinking it would add flavor.
It'd be unfair of me not to tell you that's the direction they're looking.
You are surprised I speak your language! I was educated at the UCRA!
Eddie, your attempt is just as special as Laird's, but I believe it is distilled from a different kind of truth. I'm sure there'll be other roles which will bring closer to the quality you project.
Okay, sure. Thanks a lot, Mr. De La Maze. What do you say?
He said no.
Even if I'm just second banana, this could be the break I've been waiting for. Aren't you excited?
They usually get stars for the stuff I'm reading, don't they?
Well, you never know. You live in New York?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
West 64th, between Broadway and Amsterdam.
Yeah, I live on 50th, across from Madison Square Garden.
I used to live near there. 48, the dance belts.
You got a boyfriend?
Did have. Joined the Navy last year.
Yeah, Navy's not bad. I've been thinking maybe I should join before I get drafted.
Aren't you a bit old to be drafted?
Yeah, right now, but look at the way things are going. I figure I better get a name in showbiz, PDQ, so that if I am drafted, I can join the entertainment section of the Army.
You want to kill the enemy with laughs, huh?
They got such units.
A comics battalion? They hit the beach right after the magicians.
It's called Special Services.
Uh-huh. And they pass out ping pong balls, too.
You know, I didn't know you were a dancer, even if you never said so.
Yeah?
You talk straight out, like a guy. Most dames don't do that. Dancers do. Of course, I'm talking showbiz, not ballet.
You date a lot of dancers?
I don't date a lot of anything.
You haven't got a girl?
Nope. See, most girls, they don't want to get serious with comic. Yeah, but that's all right. That's just the way things are laid out.
What's laid out?
The hero gets the girl, the comics get the laughs.
In the movies.
And in real life. Pretty much the same.
I wouldn't know. I haven't met any heroes.
Met any comics?
Just one. I want to look over the second act ballad.
You believe in chemistry?
Chemistry?
Yeah, you know, you look at someone and something happens.
I don't know.
Well, it's happening here. O'Reilly and Zemaid, they really got eyes for each other. I think we're seeing the start of a hot affair.
Maybe they sense something in common.
Some people believe in it. Chemistry. Never happened to you?
Nope.
How about your boyfriend?
We grew up together. He was just always there.
Till now.
Yeah.
Actually, it never happened to me either. Chemistry.
Probably just in the movies.
No, it happened to my father once.
It did?
From the bus window. He was on the corner, she was on the bus. They saw each other. Wait! He chased that bus for 5 blocks.
It was your mother?
No, just some girl. He never saw her again. My father used to tell me, Eddie, when it happens, you'll know. It's chemical. Just hope she ain't on a bus. Yeah, it can happen. You just gotta be looking out for it, is all. Shall we get back to work?
So how you all doing? Miss Von Rosenewin wanted me to lay out some fresh coffee here for you.
We just had coffee.
So you want to go into the kitchen? She probably just wants us out of the way while she learns to light the oven. So you folks are in show business, huh? Yes. Do you ever attend the theater, Miss Kelly? No, not that much. I did have a cousin who was an exotic dancer, though.
Dinner, such as it is, will be around 7. To tide you over, I'll have Elsa bring in some leader crabs.
We're fine, Elsa. Please don't worry about us.
Now? Oh, and one other thing! The other day, when Elsa and I were cleaning out the guest rooms in anticipation of your arrivals, guess what we found? Phoebe's makeup kit. It had been packed with the showgirl costumes and sent to Princeton University when the show closed.
Showgirl costumes? I thought Princeton was a men's school. Only in the daytime, obviously.
It's for that show they do. It has a kick line.
Oh, someone there, recognizing the name as one of the murder victims, mailed it to the police. Who thereupon mailed it to me. I put it in the closet and forgot about it until, upon your arrival, I grew curious. So I opened it, and what do you think I found?
I don't want to hear about this. It's gonna be somebody's finger or something.
A notebook. A round notebook.
A round notebook?
With notes and little tiny spirals.
What?
Phone numbers. And something is in my eye.
Okay.
Got in my eye. Caught my eye. An appointment. The night she was murdered.
An appointment with whom?
Don't know. But they were wearing a watch. I knew it. No time. It gives a time and place.
That night was probably just an appointment to go over a key change or something.
Couldn't be. The night poor Bibi was murdered, we were dark. No one was at the theater.
What are you so excited about, Ginger?
And no one was there.
No, they weren't.
Weren't what?
They weren't singing
But who wasn't singing?
in an elevator. Oh, I need coffee.
Well, the stage manager was there that night. I remember because me and the set designer stopped by before going to dinner at Tough and Eddie's.
Couldn't have been Ken. The stage manager was with me. We were at Blue Ribbon.
No, I remember distinctly because it was the first dark night and...
I ought to know where my own damn stage manager is, Ken. Ugh!
Calm down, Marjorie. What are you so upset about?
And alibis.
Obviously.
The note doesn't say the theater. It says the hotel. She had an appointment at the hotel the night she was murdered.
An appointment with whom? No one was there. We only used a suite there as a staff room.
Why don't we take a look at the book?
I think it's best if we turn it over to the police in the morning.
Maybe you should put that book in a safe place and as far away from you as possible. Because if it connects the killer to the murderers, he would kill to get it.
But he doesn't know I have it, does he?
Well, he does now.
Really, Mr. McKeon? For that to be true, the killer would have to be in this room.
Oh, let's not be ridiculous. I mean, we're all sure people. So on Act the Second, as Shakespeare might have said. He might have, but I doubt if he did.
Do you mind if I watch a bit, Ken? You know how I adore the rehearsal process.
No, really, I will spoil the auditions for you.
I shan't stay long, just a soupçon.
No, really.
And this is my house, and...
Marjorie, just let her stay. I have to get to work.
Okay, Elsa, just sit right here.
Act 2 begins with... We already have coffee!
Fraulein von Grosse-Newton, möchte nachher O'Reilly. Prefer chocolate.
Alright. Bernice, second act, please.
Okay, White House merry-go-round, Act 2. It opens in the Senate chambers. On stage are Biff and Trudy. There are also some page boys.
I'll do the page voice.
Oh, I bet you will. Only joking. Sounds Davoon. Simply Davoon.
Excuse me. Sure enough, here the hot chocolate has gone and given me a terrible headache. I noticed I am not needed in this number, so if you don't mind, I will step out for some aspirin.
Oh, you poor boy. There's some in the kitchen. I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
I'm right back.
Okay, that's the format, and here's how it goes. Trudy is on stage opening mail from some of Biff's constituents, all of whom have advice on how to run the country. This leads to our opener. Everyone can do it better.
What happened?
Try the light switch.
Where is it?
Ouch! Oh, ow!
Everyone just stand still. It may be a power failure. I'll check the basement.
Ready, candles?
Oh, what was that? In the library?
This is making me very nervous. Calm down, Bernice.
I'm not Bernice. Stop touching my neck.
Let's all remain calm. It's probably just a snowstorm. I'm sure Miss Von Gerson will be here soon with some candles.
Here are we? Didn't I just hear the tiniest scream a moment ago? Yes, I know. My chair.
We're all here, Bernice.
That's Ginger.
Hi.
This is Ken. I'm me. Anders.
I'm here.
And me.
Marjorie.
You're back. Everyone all right? I'm afraid it's because I plugged in the toaster.
We're calling Elsa.
Moving as quickly as we can.
No hurry. I haven't even started.
still goes through.
Baby, when I dance with you,
No one does it
better than
just me too. I don't think she liked it.
She's smiling, see? She's just not being vocal.
Well, following that number, which will be much catchier, much funnier. Unless you really hate it that much, then we can cut it.
Bernice, let's go on.
Well, I mean, that's the second act opener, and if she hates it.
All right, Marjorie, do you hate it, or is Bernice just going through a typical attack of paranoia?
Marjorie, we're friends here. If you've got something to say, let's just say it and not sit there acting like a typical producer. Someone pulled the main power. Has anyone? She's dead! Dead? My goodness.
Oh, at least you know it wasn't your music.
Has anyone come in from that passageway or out that hallway?
I was by that passageway. They would have had to go through me. Oh my gosh.
I'll check the hall.
What about the French doors? It was frozen shut.
Call the police! Police! On the phone, Bernice.
Phone is dead, remember? The closet. The closet.
The closet. The phone is in the closet? What? Ginger, could you hold this for a moment, please? Thank you.
Does this mean the show is canceled?